Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Y'all are brewheads? Yeah, we brewheads. So pour a glass of craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is C Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 154 of Beer Industry Podcast. And this afternoon, we are back in glorious Montreal, Quebec. We're here at Bar Pamplemousse, love that word, with the gentleman behind, is it Brasserie Vilains?
It's Vilains Brasseurs.
Vilains Brasseurs, I knew I'd mess that up. Stephane, the founder, and Matthieu, head brewer. Gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out today.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
I've been watching you guys from on the internet for some time. Your branding is exceptional, and I'm a big fan of breweries who take the time to make. You know, if you guys can probably see here that the beers are looking gorgeous. So well done on that. Very cool. I haven't as yet tried any of your stuff until right this very moment, so I'm excited to get into it today. We're here at the bar because you have a launch of a brand new beer this evening, so we'll get into that during the podcast. What are we drinking right now?
So we're drinking Blanche Pilon,
Yes.
which is our only non-IPA beer.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so it's a
right on.
white brewed with pink pepper
Okay.
and coriander.
Yes. You can definitely taste the spices in this one.
Yeah.
For sure. Super light. Is there did you use any orange or any citrus in it?
Yeah, orange peel, bitter orange peel,
Okay. I'm getting
coriander
and the pepper.
Yeah.
I'm getting a slight bit of bitterness, but not like a ton. Is that I always find that the first beer of the day is never 100% accurate on my palate. I'm not sure. So I'm like, I always get like boom bitterness, even if it's a Pilsner or something. Is that accurate with this? Am I reading that right?
It's a bit warm, so you get a lot of flavors coming out.
Yeah, it's good. It's good temperature actually for
I
this.
think so. And we wanted to do a non-sweet white, no
Right.
banana.
Yes.
None of that sweetness or fruity. We wanted to go more on the spices, more on the bitterness
Right.
of it. It's more of our style.
Right.
Of course, we have a lot of IPAs, but the white was mandatory for us to do.
Right, of course. Particularly in Quebec, it's a very
Yeah,
popular
and we thought, as well as a market, go-to-market ID, there was not that much of a funky white, I think it's pretty funky for a white that can talk to everybody at the store.
Absolutely.
And also, the design match what's in the can, what you taste. So if you look at the can, for sure, when you drink it, you feel it.
Yes, with the big orange
Coming
slice on there. Yes.
together,
We would just before we hit record, you guys were just telling us the story of the name of the beer. I think it's while it sounds straightforward, there's actually a lot more to it. It's very cool. Do you mind?
Yeah. My baby girl, she's 2.5 now, is named Blanche. Her name is Blanche.
Is that a common name in?
It's not that common.
No.
It was the name of my grandmother.
Right.
It's an old name, if
Right.
you like old names come back as a trend for sure.
Everything
Comes back. So Blanche was the name of my grandmother, and my partner said, for sure we're calling a beer. We're doing a Blanche beer. For sure it's going to be called Blanche Pilon because my last name is Blanche Pilon. So that's why we called it Blanche Pilon, and it sounded right. Her name is right, and on the can was sounded right. As well, she's redhead.
Right.
So we created an orange because sometimes people put orange in a white beer.
Yes.
So, and the fact that she's redhead, it's a total match for the brand.
Right.
And it's a cute story, So
Yeah, I like it.
She's funky, she's fun, she's not. She's original. I think Blanche is original as a baby, and the beer represent that pretty much.
That's very cool, man. Is she aware enough to understand that too? I guess she's not able to understand that that's.
Now she understands that's beer, and she understands Matthieu brews the beer. That's one thing she understands.
Step by step.
Yeah, because Matthieu is our brewer. He's a good friend as well, so he gets to know a bit Blanche, and he comes home often, and she knows Matthieu and beer are related.
So she can put two and two together.
Yeah.
As she gets older, that's a pretty cool thing to just be like, hey, there's my name in stores across the province.
Our family, like my mother-in-law, everybody, my mom, my sister, everybody's pretty proud of that. It's we're not doing beers as an ego stuff. It's not like ego portrait or whatever.
Right.
But this one, it's more familiar, maybe more family oriented.
Of course. Hey, You got to do something like that. It's,
Yeah,
it's
I
very,
think
very
so.
cool. Right? You got the
I do
opportunity.
think so.
Yeah, and when it's that perfect for the style, the name, it's doesn't happen too often.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's pretty good. I just tasted.
Yeah, it's a really, really enjoyable. To be fair, like I'm definitely more into the IPAs, but I'm appreciating this because it's not overly sweet. Like I don't really enjoy the banana and the clovey type of. I think that's more of a wit than a Blanche, though, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
I think so.
Is that right?
Yeah, and
Yeah. Like the Belgian style versus like the German.
exactly.
Yeah.
And which is a bit funny is that when somebody is looking for a new beer to taste, and we propose him to taste the Blanche, they're like, oh no, I don't like Blanche. It's not my style. And
Right.
and at the end they're like, oh yeah. I like it.
This is really
It's
nice.
it's not sweet. It's a little bit drier than usual and really refreshing. So it's a good thing to start the.
Yeah, to start the podcast.
Yeah.
Is it year round?
Yeah,
All the beers year round?
for now,
Or-
yes.
For now, nice.
It's only been a year,
Right, this is pretty new. Okay.
so we didn't do the full cycle yet. Yeah,
Right.
I don't think we reached everybody.
Right. Oh, you got some. Yeah, you got early days.
Early days, and
Okay.
so we're pretty much on the new things right now. You
Yeah.
know? And the requests have been honestly like equal on every brand. So like sales,
Then like there's no. I was going to ask. is
there's a leader here. Projet Tropicale is the leader.
Okay.
I think it's because of the style of the beer and the trend right now
Sure.
of those type of beers, hazy beers, New England style
Plus.
bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But the rest are equal. Like
Interesting.
even in California, we tend to not talk about it as often as we talk about the Blanche or the Projet Tropicale or the Fleur. But California has been our solid since day one.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it a Cali Common or it's a
No, it's
like
a-
a West Coast?
It's a West Coast
IPA?
IPA.
Oh, nice. I feel like they're coming back these days because people are getting a little burnt out from the haze and the.
Yeah.
So it's coming back around like everything, like you were just saying.
Definitely. 2 weeks ago we did the Festibière de Québec,
Oh, I heard that was great.
and a lot of people were really surprised to taste
Like a West Coast.
a West Coast, and they're like, oh, that what it tastes, and that's why I like beer and the hoppy beer.
Right.
And it was for a lot of people the first step in hoppy beers,
Yes.
and they are rediscovering the thing. So it's pretty nice.
Very cool.
And, I think it's gonna come back.
Yeah, I agree. I think it
Yeah.
really is. So let's take a step back for a second. Let's get into your beer stories. How did you guys individually get into craft beer, and then how did that lead to Vilains Brasseurs?
Well,
Matthieu first.
Actually, I worked as a lifeguard in France for 10 years,
Nice.
and I was making beer at home.
Okay.
And
That's random.
Yeah, and after 2 years, I wanted to change
Like the profession.
the
Yep.
profession, and my friend offered me to brew in a brewery for one day, and I liked it, and then we came with my good girlfriend in Quebec 3 years ago.
Nice. She's from here.
No, from
Both of you guys
France
from
too,
France?
yeah.
Yep.
And after a long search to find some place to work, I found the brewery, and they gave me my chance to improve my skills and be where I am now.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay. I love that. I don't get too many. I feel like most people I speak to on the podcast are like sort of real like born and raised Quebec. I don't get too many folks from France, so that's
Oh, yeah?
good. Yeah. I don't know why. I guess maybe just people like it's harder. Maybe it's harder to get into the network or something.
There's a lot of
lot of
breweries
French
here,
Yeah.
but
a little bit. Yeah.
a really few work. You know,
Yeah.
there's
true.
a lot of people wanting to work in brewery, but it's a bit hard to
really find your way
place
in, right?
and yeah.
Yeah.
To,
Well, it's good that you come straight from France and been able to, like, did you do like Salomon jobs and other jobs, or you went straight to just
no,
Right.
I worked in a lot of places before.
Yeah,
yeah.
in breweries or out? Like
No,
other way?
outside, and
Gotcha.
and I found a place at Elm.
My home, yeah.
Yeah, and
Nice.
I used to work as a busboy.
Nice. That's your maybe I've seen you there before. Then you look familiar.
Maybe.
Yeah, because there Sebastian and that's how we've spoken in the past before. Sebastian and
I was maybe the guy running.
yeah, running around, dropping stuff off.
Yeah.
Okay, sick. And then that's great though, getting straight into the.
Yeah, and we met there, and I started. To,
Oh, of course. Yeah, it makes sense.
as
Yeah. Yeah, hey man, I want to brew and.
Yeah, and they were looking for somebody but just for a few hours at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then they need more and more.
So it worked out.
Yeah.
Did you brew at Helm at all, or didn't really get to test that out there?
Sorry.
Did you brew at Helm at all?
Just like 2 times with Sebastian, which is the head brewer there,
Yes.
and that's it.
Okay, nice man. How did you, Stephane, get into beer? How did it work for you?
I've been in beer for about 8 years now,
Okay.
8-9 years. I used to be in marketing for big companies, corporate companies like tobacco, wines and spirits. So I was in that already. You know, I was in Vice, as you
Yeah,
meant to
Vice.
say. I knew the consumer, I knew the trends, I knew stores, I knew how.
Like how it all worked? and
Yeah.
stuff.
And my partner Paul approached me, I think it's going to be 10 years now,
Wow.
to create a beer called MTL Premium Lager. It was the first beer we launched 10 years ago. The idea was to create a super premium beer that represented the city of Montreal and sell it across the world.
Right.
So the idea is super noble, super nice branding. We did an
Like
amazing job.
Like a pilsner or a lager?
A
Or was it just
lager.
straight like a Hellas style.
No,
kind
it
of?
was a regular lager.
Okay.
And we had a clear bottle, painted black on it, MTL. It was pretty cool, actually. We had a lot of fun doing it. Although we were not brewers at start, we did have a bit of difficulty to maintain quality of the product.
Right.
And a blonde beer, lager beer, it's tough to do.
Yes, they are.
To have consistency. There's no hops, you know. You cannot get flavors out of it, so you have to be always consistent.
Yes.
And probably we're not priced at the in the right category in the stores and stuff like that. I think we had an amazing marketing concept, but maybe in the marketplace was a bit tougher.
He probably wasn't ready for it, maybe?
Maybe.
Back then, 10
Yeah,
years ago, it was
maybe.
different game.
But in the meantime, we didn't quit. So
Right.
we had the opportunity to buy a small brewery in Griffintown called Beer Briar.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I met
so-
that guy one time. Okay. So
Charles. So we
Yeah.
we bought that brewery, and he had an extra capacity for us. A small brewery, but he had capacity for us to create new beers.
Okay.
So we launched our first product was called Broken 7.
Yes.
So that was the first brand that we created more on the crafty side.
Okay.
So craft blonde, local blonde, sports beer, big bottle, 500 ml, and that exploded like
Yeah, it's
totally
everywhere.
like that went crazy. We had pretty good years at start, and then the brewery became too small, and my partner and I said, "Well, Broken 7, it's good. It's not totally us. You know,
Right.
I'm sure
It's not
we
really
had
what you wanted to do.
no, we had more ideas. We
Yeah,
traveled
yeah.
a lot. I got married in Brooklyn because I love Brooklyn. I love
Just
the
there,
beers.
2 days ago, yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, the best.
You know, so it really inspired me, inspired Paul, and we said, "Oh, how come we don't do a new line? You know, more as other half." I think you went.
Yes, I did.
The idea of doing high alcohol but really easy drinking beers,
Mm-hmm.
really easy drinking IPAs, a lot of flavors, but still not a lot of bitterness, you know. So this way you can enjoy the flavor of an IPA or enjoy the flavor of beer
Right.
without being too harsh.
Yes.
And at the same time we met the Alchemist Brewery in Joliet that they had extra capacity. And we decided to create a department over there
Nice.
that for us to play a playground for us to create beers.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's a short story.
Yeah.
But I'm not a brewer at all.
No.
So
Just to be a fan. And,
yeah, beer fan, and I do all the design, all the branding.
Yeah, you do all that.
But I'm not the actual graphist artist.
Right.
But,
But you sort of like
everything is
coordinated and directed.
Sometimes I do it by hand.
Right. Oh, and then you
Yeah, like-
map it out and then someone
like-
recreates it?
Forêt I draw it by hand,
That's
and I
crazy.
send it to an artist that did it because my drawing was awful, like totally awful. So
That's a good way to do it.
And so we try to specialize in creating amazing design, and we had taste profiles for beers like that we carried across our travels, and then we share with the team, and then we discuss, and the guys, the artists, create the actual recipe and manage all the beer side.
That's sick.
Yeah, so my partner Paul managed all the distribution, all the cost, all the administrative part of marketing, and me, I'm more on the design, branding, creation, recipe creation, research and development.
And I guess you guys both do this type of event like we are here tonight. You're doing like the tastings, I assume, and like the launch parties. I guess that comes under marketing too.
Yeah, it's our second party here. We tend not to do every festival because we do have a super small team.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It's expensive, and we're still new, so we're trying to put all our efforts in the beers, the actual beers, the actual design, the actual ingredients. Because as you will see as we follow the flight, they're full-bodied. You know, they do taste. We do put a lot of grain and hops and yeast, and we go all out.
Good.
There's no restriction. There's no price restriction, and that's why we concentrate on that. To create the good marketing after that, to be well positioned in stores, to do proper events, work on social media.
Yes.
We did a PR launch last year. That was pretty good. We are in a couple of bars. So yeah, that's how that's my job actually.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's all been sort of grown to this over 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah. Vilains has been a bit crazy for the past year.
Fast growth there.
Yeah, but the thing is, we have to maintain and create good products and to keep the quality of the product. I think many other beers as well grew a lot in the last year.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of beautiful beers in Quebec, so we're pretty lucky that there's a big trend on that.
Yes.
So I think we're all, not only us, but all of us following that trend, and now we're thinking what's going to happen in the next years.
Yeah.
You know, because is it going to go up through the roof like this? I don't know. What do you think? You know,
well, funnily enough, because we were just in New York and we did a podcast with a beer bar out there, and I was asking them because in the States it's different, right? Like essentially Canada, we follow the States, particularly with most trends, but with beer especially. Even I'm from Australia. When I go back there, I'm seeing they're following the States too. So it's all they're like running the show. The interesting thing there is beer is going down, but hard seltzer, like, are you familiar with that? Yeah, that is going up. It's going crazy. And breweries are allowed to make it because I still think it's some sort of malt-based product. So they're all releasing a hard iced tea, a hard kombucha, a hard seltzer and stuff to supplement the beer thing. But I don't know because Quebec is its own microcosm as well. So even when we travel around, we go to even like Ontario or Vermont or whatever, Quebec is still on its own little thing. Like the main two things I noticed, pilsners, like craft pilsners and lagers, and the New England IPA were very slow here. I feel like it's landed now, but it took a little while. So I don't know if it's accurate to read what America is doing and then say that's where Quebec is going to go. So it's an interesting conversation.
Well, it is. We had this discussion with our sales director, with our distributor last week.
What are they saying? Actually, they would have the best information.
I mean, they're asking because...
Oh, they're asking?
Yeah, because, of course, hard seltzer or any malt-based drinks are popular.
Right.
Are getting more popular.
Even here, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and even better. I think the main industry of beer will go down throughout the years. There will be a switch, new cocktails coming in, you know. But our drinkers, like we used to have 20 years ago, of like 48 bottles of Budweiser or Molson Export, I don't think that will happen anymore.
I think that's gonna.
I think the new generation will do testers, a lot of sample, a lot of trying.
Yep.
They will go back to their home cocktails, maybe the malt base. But I think cool, interactive and creative product, beer, wine, coolers will always stay.
Agreed.
I don't think they will go down.
No.
So the difficulty is to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Because the industry will go down because the big brewers are not that relevant anymore.
No.
They tend to get less relevant. and the new consumer, is more educated
Yes.
on products.
Yes.
And he has a bigger range of choice.
Yes.
So the range of choice is our biggest competitors.
That's true. That's a good point.
So the range of choice, it's like, what do I drink Friday night with my girlfriend?
Right.
I used to drink with the boys 12 beers, and I met my girlfriend after that. But now I'm going out with my girlfriend every Friday night.
Right.
So she's gonna drink a cocktail. Maybe I'll take a sample of beer. In example, a beautiful bar like this, they do have samples.
Right. Like
So-
taster flights.
Taster flights. So you try it. But that was not there 10 years ago.
Right.
You cannot go to a bar and have a taster of something.
Yeah,
you
it's
only had 10 lines of beer in pints of 20 ounce
Right.
of regular flavors.
Yeah, it's a great point. And I guess I definitely agree with, even just looking at the bar, like wear glasses, so I can't see specifically, but I bet there's a bunch of local liquor up there too. So I think that comes in, like with the cocktail, people are drinking and consuming locally, particularly in a place like Quebec. I know Quebec and Vermont are very much focused on local, more than anywhere else I've seen. Like the farm to table,
Yep.
so the food, like
Yeah.
you go to there's so many markets in this city. It's not like that. In like Toronto, there's like one I can think of.
Yeah.
But there's like 4 or 5 just in a few kilometer radius here. So people are really focused on like, where do those eggs come from, or where did that meat come from? And it's all local. I love that, and I guess the local spirits. So the competition, and then I guess local wines. If you look it up to there's Montérégie and up near Sherbrooke, the other wine region. I don't know what it's called.
L'Estrie.
That's what it's called? Okay. So those type of things, I think they're slowly coming up.
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot. But it's like, as long as the focus is on local, and as long as there's a presence, I think it's almost like everyone will win together. It's like, say if a brewery opens next door to you, if you have a physical place, you're not really worried, because it's like, well, people are going to go there, they're going to go to both of us. And there's more reason to come now. Because beer people are interesting in that they travel to drink. They travel for the product. So they'll always go to where it is, and I feel like that's as you mentioned with the people who drink about 50 or whatever. Those people are generally older, and as they die off, like for lack of a better term, the people that our generation that hopefully the habits of drinking local, and like once you drink this, you can't go back to like Labatt or something. Like it doesn't work. Like you can't go back there. So I feel like that'll just keep growing, and then they'll pass. Like, so your daughter, like, she's going to grow up really only knowing good things. She won't even probably experience the whack stuff, because, particularly you guys being in the industry you're in, when she's old enough to be presented with alcohol, like, she'll be only exposed to only seeing all you guys, all the people you bring around, just drinking good stuff. So hopefully these habits create new consumers in the future, and it just continues, and then the bigger brands can only rely on
I think
marketing.
To add on what you're saying, I think it will create new products as well.
From a whole new like industries.
Yeah, like
the
a
hard
new
seltzer stuff.
a new invention. I'm sure.
good point.
Like, why not? Why not? Now we do beers that will taste at 8%.
Yep.
And there's no fruits in it, but I'm sure it's like a fruit juice.
Yeah.
How come?
True.
We didn't know that 30 years ago. Well, probably someone
Even
knew.
5 years ago, yes.
Probably someone knew.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, like in 20 years, like someone will. Why not come out with a new energy drink? Is the best. There was no energy drink 40 years ago.
Nope.
Now you have a plenty of energy drink. So I think in the alcohol business, it will come the same. I think you will have less bigger factory like Molson, Labatt, Slimans, Miller, and stuff like that. Maybe we'll have more of Vilains or Boreal or Schlag of this world.
Yeah.
Bigger size, but not as big that it can keep the momentum. It's tough for profitability though.
Yes, that's the hardest part.
That's the hardest part.
Is that everyone thinks there's a lot of money in beer, and you just put this out and you're rolling in cash, and it's definitely not what people think it is.
No, so that's it. So you need to find the right balance. So
Yeah.
how can you create relevant, creative products, at the same time trying to make money to live?
Yep.
It's not that it's not like we don't make money to live. We make money to pay ourselves, but to reinvest in either equipment, staff, research,
Profit.
and
Yeah.
profit. Eventually, profit
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
our job. It's not like
It's not a hobby.
it's not a hobby. It's our real life, day-to-day job.
Yep.
my job when I meet the distributor is I tell him, hey buddy, if you didn't sell as much as I want, I'm gonna tell you because it's my pay.
Yeah.
My pay every day is the consumer at the store. I'm not trying to have pity on you. I'm just saying that
that's the reality of it.
The reality is it's going to be tough for us to continue our creative work if
there's not money coming in.
If there's
to
not
fuel
coming
that.
in. So for now we're pretty good because the price is good, the margin are good, and the stores are working with us. A lot of stores are working
I see you
with
guys
us.
everywhere. Guys, this has been awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you guys
Thank you so
hanging out. Congrats
Pleasure.
on the new release. It's been fantastic. Where can everybody find Vilains Brasseurs online?
Instagram at Vilains Brasseurs.
Yeah.
And Facebook. Vilains Brasseurs.
Beautiful.
All information we answered in a few hours
Yep.
fastest. And the point of sales are linked through Transbrew website.
Perfect.
So everything's there.
Nice. They can
And
get it.
please send us emails. We
Yep.
love to read them. We love to be challenged. We love,
So any feedback,
we love it.
any thoughts, keep them coming.
The more
Anything
possible.
constructive.
Yes. Yeah, don't be a dick. Be cool. Be cool. No, that's great, man. Really impressed.
Cheers.
Very great to see it. So guys, if you enjoyed the episode, mate, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you know when the new drops. Follow us on social media at BAOS Podcast, and check out the long form audio so you can hear very attractive gentlemen like Uncle Stephane and Uncle Matthieu right here talk about craft beer in Montreal. That is it, guys. See you in the next episode. Get in ya. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.